What's up everyone? So today I'm down at Maserati Lotus Greenville, where there's a car out front here that I'm gonna get the keys to take for a drive. Comment down below, what do you think it is? We have a Mustang, we have an S2000, a Corvette, and there's a V10 R8 down at the end there. So let's head inside and get the keys. We're checking out this Honda S2000. I've never driven one before, so it's got some things done to it, the wing, the wheels. I think there's some engine work, which we'll check out later. But let's go ahead with the key, unlock it, take it for a drive. So this is the cold startup on a 2002 Honda S2000. All right, time to roll. All right, so getting the S2000 out on the road for the first time. This is definitely a lot different than what I was expecting. It's very tight on the inside here. It's almost like a Lotus Elise or my Lotus Evora even. It doesn't feel as cramped though. I don't know why. Probably because there's a center console. I never had a center console on my Evora. So you're not shoulder to shoulder with the person next to you. So even though it is crammed, it's nice on the inside. Its visibility is really good, especially having the glass right behind you. The dash is a little funky. It's kind of angled away from the driver. So I'm gonna have to get used to that. And then the tack is across the top. So everything is digital rather than having an analog. This is a very bumpy road. Suspension it's comfortably firm. I'm sorry for the GoPro shaking there. I have it as secure as I can. The clutch pedal and the shifter are very easy to go through. It's such a short throw in the shifts, and the clutch pedal is very light. We're gonna let the car warm up a bit. So far, I love how that shifter is. I'm not sure if it's aftermarket or not, because as you guys saw on the outside, there's a huge rear wing that I'm looking at right now in my rear view. And then the wheels look to be painted white, which I think is a nice touch. And we're gonna hop out again and check out the exterior now that I have it away from all those other cars here. All right guys, so I've brought the car to this empty lot now so we can really check it out. I didn't mention though, when you get in the car, you insert the key, and then there's an ignition button to the far left. So that's kind of neat. You still have to put in a traditional key though. You have some other radio controls for your volume and channel. This is the center screen that I was talking about. So it's all digital, and then you see the RPM gauge go across the top. So it's kind of different, especially from the driving seat here. It's kind of angled away. And then there's really not much else inside. When you push on this cover here, that reveals a CD player and the radio, so you can easily cover that up. You have a couple other AC controls. Everything is really geared towards the driver. Then you just have the shifter. There is a roof button, so we'll get to that here soon. You have your e-brake, a little bit of storage, and then a lockable center console here. And look, a GoPro mount. I might have to put my GoPro there just because someone already put it there, so that might be a good spot to get to. Oh, there's the trunk release. I just saw that. Okay, I was using the key earlier. But what do you guys think of the blue leather interior? I think it looks really good against the outer blue. So we're gonna go ahead and hop out. I like the front end of it. For a 2002, it's not overdone. It's kind of basic, but this is a driver-focused car. You really don't need much up front other than your headlights, of course. And then it's got a nice large grille underneath to get more cooling to the engine, which we'll go ahead and pop. So underneath the hood, this has a 2-liter 4-cylinder paired only to the 6-speed manual, as you guys saw. This has 240 horsepower and 162 pound-feet of torque. So it's not crazy high in the horsepower, but it only weighs 2,800 pounds. You can see there's an aftermarket K&N intake in it as well. So it can do 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds with a top speed of 149 miles an hour. So that's not the quickest 0 to 60 time out there, but at under 3,000 pounds, this isn't really meant for speed. This is gonna be a backroads kind of car that's really driver focused, especially with the manual transmission. So I can't wait to drive this even more. I've only put about a mile on it so far. Looking at the wheels now, they are definitely painted. They look really good too. You can see some brake dust on there, but what do you guys think? How do you like the contrast against that? And then it does have a blue top. So this car is blue on blue on blue. I'm digging it. What do you guys think? I'm liking how it is. I think the exhaust is stock, as you heard in the cold start. I thought it was gonna be louder than that, but then it has this pretty big carbon fiber wing on it. You can see it through the rear view. It's almost in your line of sight, but it is pretty low. For anybody who's driven this car, what do you guys think? Comment down below. This is the first time I'm getting behind the wheel of it, so we're gonna get it out on some other roads here and really check it out. I think this is gonna be super fun. It reminds me of my Lotus already in a sense, but a little bit lighter actually. And I almost forgot to show you guys the trunk space. This is actually a pretty usable daily driver. You can see my camera equipment. There's a large car cover, and then what appears to be some kind of top. I believe this is another top for the top when it's down to maybe cover the roof or something like that. But there's actually a lot of stuff in here, and I think it might have a spare. I'm not sure. I don't know if that's right. But for a two-seater with hardly any room behind the seats, you have a pretty nice daily driver here. So I think now it's time to take the top down and show you guys how that works. I'm gonna go ahead and unlatch 2 of these clips, put them back together. So just by pulling on the button in the center console and removing those clips that I just showed you, it's that easy. All right, so let's try this again. I have a different suction cup holding the camera, so hopefully it won't bounce around as much for you guys. But getting the S2000 out on the road now, for real this time, this is a fun driving car. Again, the shifts are super smooth. I can't really feel that much wind noise. I'm ducking a little bit, so maybe you guys can hear me better. But even just straight up here, it's kind of going over my hair just a little bit. It's not that noisy from the inside, which is nice. So even on a chilly day like today, I can have the top down and easily enjoy driving it. I don't really drive too many cars where you can take the roof off or down, and it's definitely a lot of fun. Let's give it a little bit of gas. It's not the fastest out there, but man, is it smooth shifting. The overall ride quality too, for a 15-year-old car or so, it's very smooth. Even though you guys saw the camera shaking a little bit, I'm not on the smoothest roads, but downshifting is super easy to do in this. I can get on board with buying this. The dealer has this for about $17,000, and it has 78,500 miles on it. I'm not really sure what these cars are going for, but this would be a heck of a car to get for that price. You have a lot of practicality in it, just being able to put things in that trunk space. Obviously, it's not a lot for, you know, long trips or putting, you know, bigger items in, but you have all you need to pack a couple bags and go for a nice cruise in this car. You got the top down. I like the fact too that in this car there's hardly any buttons or anything to mess with. If you're gonna have the top down and you want to listen to that exhaust, you can just put this cover up over the radio and act like it doesn't even exist. You have very few buttons on either side of the steering wheel, but this does have, it looks like it has heated seats that you can control with a button here. You have cruise control, all your radio controls. I mean, it's all easy, and instead of having steering wheel buttons like on cars nowadays, they're just kind of off to the side. But they're laid out very well. Looks like they're easy to use. The only thing that is on the steering wheel is your cruise controls, and that's about it to it. It's pretty much just a two-seater. You can take out. It sounds good for being stock. I wish I could get it on some more twisty roads to really see how the handling is, but it's very direct when I turn the steering wheel there. This is definitely going to handle well on back mountain roads. Front wheel drive, rear engine, whoops. Front engine, rear wheel drive. It's almost like this was the FRS and the BRZ from back in the day. This is pretty much on par with those. Just going over the comfort of this car now, I really like the seats. They don't have too aggressive of bolsters, but they hold you well. I haven't taken any hard turns or anything, but I'm definitely planted in the seat itself. They are manual adjusting, so I have room. I even have room to go back if you're much taller than myself. I'm 5'10". I have plenty of room with the top up too, and I'll put that up here in a second. But overall, it's a very comfortable car. It's very, very easy to drive, and it's super smooth. Being under 3,000 pounds, it's very easy to maneuver. We're gonna take this turn, going just a little bit quick here, and oh yeah, pretty much zero body roll. This handles amazing. Okay, so you do have to be stopped to do this, and what, 8 seconds or so, and we just take these clips and it's back into place. So that was very easy to do. And now you guys can see I've got a good 3 or 4 inches above my head. So So again, if you were taller than me, you definitely have the option to sit in here. Now visibility over this pillar is a little bulky there, but nothing you wouldn't have to do in a normal, even four-door car. And then obviously the window is right there. So visibility is not too hindered with the top up, but we're gonna go ahead and roll up the windows because I haven't driven it with the windows up yet to see how insulated it is with a soft top. You can still hear that exhaust. I wish it was a little more aggressive, a little more beefy, but aftermarket exhaust obviously would do that. I don't hear any of that intake up front. Usually with the K&N intake, you can hear the engine just a little bit more, but I don't hear it in this case. All right, so here we go again. This is a really fun car to drive. Comment down below, you guys, would you rather take this, a Lotus Elise, or an FRS or BRZ? They're all kind of similar, but they're all very different at the same time. The Lotus Elise, you just don't have as much trunk space, I think, and obviously the engine is in the back, but they're pretty much almost the same size on the inside and don't have, you know, kind of the basics, if you will. AC, radio, that's about it. And then the FRS and BRZ, being more modern, they have the back seat room, bigger trunk, a little more luxuries than these two, but these are pure driving cars. Oh my gosh, it's a totally different driving experience, and I'm glad that I'm able to take this car out. So be sure to check out Maserati Lotus Greenville. They have this up for sale on their website right now. Moving on to the overall materials of this car, for being a 2002, everything is in really good shape for 80,000 miles. There's no cracks in the leather or anything. The steering wheel feels really good. And then the seats are in really good shape. They don't have cracks or anything either on the sides. I think it's pretty cool to be in a all blue leather interior. I wouldn't think that it would look cool, but on the blue on the outside, it's a good combo. Comment down below, you guys, would you drive a blue S2000 with this blue interior? It's really nice. It gives it a good touch, especially against those white wheels again. But everything is really nice. It's held up well. We can take a turn here now to test out the handling. Wow. Oh my gosh. This is super planted. So my overall thoughts on driving the Honda S2000, this has been a car that I've been wanting to drive for a couple years now. It's been hard to find one to be able to test out, and I'm glad I'm able to check it out today. It is so much fun. The driving experience behind it, it's so driver focused that if you're just looking for a car, you just want to get out and drive, you don't have to worry about anything else. There's hardly any technology features in it, but that's not what you're buying it for. This is definitely a fun car to check out. You have a lot of tuning options for it. I could definitely see this being a really fun car to even take to the track, do autocrosses and things like that. I mean, all I have on the dash right now is the fuel, the engine temperature, the tach, and your speedometer. That's it. Miles and your trip A and trip B, and that's it. There's no funky digital readouts or anything like that. You just need the tach, which is kind of cool that it goes across the whole top, I guess. So it's just under the line of sight of the top of the steering wheel. So if you're out on the track or something, you have that right in front of you. So obviously you know when you need to shift and things like that. We're gonna take another hard turn here. Wow. Not crazy amount of power getting out of that turn, but there was no body roll or anything. It hugged that so well. So comment down below, you guys, is a Honda S2000 something that you would drive? I think it would be a fun project car to get. There's a lot of potential to do a lot of tuning and engine work to this. And you have a sub 3,000 pound car. That's pretty awesome. Let me know down below what other options you would get if there's something to compare to this. Obviously I said the BRZ and the FRS, but those are a lot more modern. But I think that sums up today's video, getting behind the wheel of the S2K. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, Huge thanks again to Maserati Lotus Greenville for providing this car for me today. I'll have a link to their website down in the description below, and I will see you guys next video.